Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Winfred and I am part of the K-Influencer Academy 2023. So we are in the third month, and this month's topic that I have chosen is my Korean language study story. So I'm going to tell you guys how I started learning Korean up to the level I am right now. So before I started learning Korean, I was learning German at that time. So naturally, I'm those people who like learning languages. Learning languages is one of my hobbies. So I always knew that I am going to study another language. But at that time, I didn't know that I would start learning Korean. So I was in my third year of campus, and I remember that day I was going to register for the course I would take that semester for German. So on my way to the department, I saw this poster that was advertising Korean classes. Then I was actually with my friend. Then I told her, these classes are free, and we usually have a lot of time when we are in school. So I don't think it will be a bad idea if we also register for Korean. My friend agreed. So when we went to the department, now in the office, we registered German and we also registered Korean. So after registering, of course, we were contacted on when the orientation will be, and we went for the orientation. So after the orientation, the classes started. The first week, by the way, my Korean teacher at that time didn't know English. So it was almost a challenge, because you can imagine you don't know anything, the teacher doesn't speak English. So unless you had that interest to learn, you would not have stayed in that class. But as I said, I like learning languages. So what I did after the class, I went to YouTube and also searched the Hangul, and made sure before the week ended I had mastered Hangul. By the way, I don't think mastering Hangul is that hard. If you're determined, by 1 week you can memorize Hangul, and the next week you will already start reading short words. So yeah, I learned Hangul, and within, I think, 2 weeks I was able to like read Korean words. Not like reading faster, but I could read. Like I could read kaza, like that. So I was very happy. We are used, like, these other languages don't use characters. So I was really excited that I was learning a language that is using characters. So with this excitement, I was really happy to continue studying. And as I continued studying, our teacher would like compliment me most of the time, telling me that you can be really good at this. So I continued studying. I was even taking my own, like, on the weekends I would take my Korean books and just learn on my own, so that when the next class comes, I already have an idea of what we are going to learn. So I continued studying. I started participating in clubs at the Korean King Sejong Institute, where I was learning. So I was part of the K-pop team, and I also joined some Honorary. So with these activities, we would attend events and we would perform. And this really made me want to stick. Like, there's co-curricular activities in the school, and you're also learning the languages. So I was like always excited to learn Korean. So I studied hard, and I remember after the first 6 months, I registered for topic 1. My first topic 1 score was 108. I was really excited because before I did the exam, I thought I would fail. That fear of failing exam. But I passed and got 108. I was so happy, and I was waiting for the other opening of the exam so I would register, because now my target was topic 2, of which I managed to get later on. So learning at the King Sejong Institute really opened many doors for me, because I remember, apart from like just studying, I was able to like travel, because our team could be invited in those events there. And by the way, before I started learning Korean, I had no knowledge about K-pop and K-drama, as I had said. So learning Korean introduced to me to K-pop, introduced me to K-drama. That's how I learned of these other things. So learning Korean was the first thing. Unlike most people, because anytime I'm talking with people, like if I meet new friends who are learning Korean, most of them say that they started learning Korean because they had interest in K-pop, or they were watching a lot of K-drama, but it was the opposite of, for me it was the opposite. I learned Korean first, and then after learning is when I knew, oh, there's K-pop, there's K-drama, there's, yeah, all that. So after learning, after I was done with campus, there was an opportunity to go and study in Korea in our institute. And the requirements were you should at least have topic 1, and you should have also graduated. Yeah, so I applied for for the for that opportunity, which I was selected, and I was so happy because I went to studying Korean. It was a really nice experience, because going to Korea made me now acquire the language. You know, you are living in the environment where people are now speaking the language, so you you acquire that language. It's not like how you learn in class, because for you to go and buy stuff, you have to order in Korean. You have to like communicate in the language so that you can understand each other. After I was done with my studies, I came back home again, because I didn't have a job. I went back to school. Yeah, I went back to school and continued with intermediate classes, Korean intermediate classes, as I started looking for other opportunities, because at this point I was so absorbed with Korean that I only wanted to work in a Korean environment. So I informed my teacher of my interests to work in a Korean company. So I continued studying while waiting for opportunities to open where I can work in the environment I want, of which by God's grace I got the opportunity to work with a Korean organization where I am right now. And so far so good. It has been a really amazing journey for me, and every day I'm always grateful that I started learning Korean. So at this point, like last month, I registered for upper intermediate classes, of which I'm starting this Sunday. So yeah, learning Korean for me will be a continuous process, because I want to really advance in the language and see where it's going to take me. So yeah, so far so good. I'm happy that I took this path, and that is my Korean journey, my Korean language journey. Yeah. So until next time, guys. Bye.